huge news. I did not believe it when the story broke. Donald Trump will address the Libertarian Party National Convention. Okay, I as soon as I saw the story, the LP posted a tweet of Trump saying, "I'm in." They said we invited him. I reached out to some contacts. I said, "No way," and they're like, "Yes," and I said, "I still don't believe it." Here's the release they put out. President Trump to address Libertarian Party concerns at National Convention May 25th. The Libertarian National Party, the party of principle, announced today that President Donald J. Trump has responded to an invitation and challenge from the Libertarian Party to speak at its national convention and directly address concerns voiced by its members. President Trump will speak on Saturday, May 25th in Washington, D.C. It is worded a little bit weird, mind you. Have you noticed how they worded it? Trump has responded to an invitation and challenge from the Libertarian Party to speak at its convention. It doesn't say he responded saying he will, and directly address concerns, not directly address its members, and that he'll speak in D.C.
Are you thinking he's going to be like video conferencing in?
Maybe something like that. Yep. But either way, that's still big. But if he's in D.C. and it's in D.C., then he will. But maybe it's really just simple. They didn't work. Let me keep reading. They say members of the Libertarian Party will share a list of their top 10 issues with President Trump in advance of the convention, hoping to make an impact on the policy positions of a past and possibly future president. Angela McArdle states, for 50 years, we've been trying to get our candidates on the main stage with major party POTUS candidates, and we finally succeeded in bringing one to our stage. We will do everything in our power to use this incredible opportunity to advance the message of liberty. Okay, bringing one to our stage. Again, I hope it's not a video conference.
No, I think he's going to be a person. I think they're trying to avoid sounding like they're endorsing him.
Right,
like they
right.
want to hold his feet to the fire on what their issues are.
So I'll read some more. Libertarians are some of the most independent and thoughtful thinkers in our country, and I am honored to join them in Washington, D.C. later this month. Okay, there you go. Simple enough. We must all work together to help advance freedom and liberty for every American, and a second Trump administration will achieve that goal. I look forward to speaking at the Libertarian event, which will be attended by many of my great friends. We all have to remember that our goal is to defeat the worst president in the history of the United States, by far, crooked Joe Biden. If libertarians join me in the Republican Party, where we have many libertarian views, the election won't even be close. We cannot have another 4 years of death, destruction, and incompetence. We will work together and win.
This makes sense for him to come at it this way.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little bit more. They say the theme of the 2024 LP National Convention is to become ungovernable. This was chosen following the previous years of unconscionable authoritarian actions by the United States federal and state governments, which saw citizens confined, indoctrinated, lied to, and inoculated against their will. The citizens of the United States must become ungovernable to regain their basic rights and freedoms. This year's convention will welcome world-renowned speakers, activists, and thinkers, as well as decide the Libertarian presidential candidate for the 2024 election cycle. There is no greater collection nor community of freedom, liberty, and independently minded people. Speakers confirmed thus far: President Trump, Dr. Peter McCullough, filmmaker and brother of Julian Assange, Gabriel Shipton, part of the problem host Dave Smith, freedom advocate, historian, and Bitcoin futurist Robert Breedlove, Joanne and Mark Skosen, longtime liberty activists, founders of Freedom Fest and the Anthem Libertarian Film Festival. More speakers will be confirmed in the coming months. I will say right now, we are not confirmed, but we are in having a conversation, in talks, simple, with LP about hosting Timcast IRL Friday at the convention. Not on the main stage or anything, but we'll have a room there where we can bring in various people who are there. Obviously, we're friends with many of these people, like Dave Smith and Angela have been on the show many times. So we're big fans of what they're doing in the Mises Caucus. When I heard this, I didn't believe it. I mean, look, I'm reading their press release for the first time on the show because we pulled it up. And I still didn't even believe it. And it says at the bottom, confirmed, Donald Trump speaking there on Saturday the 25th. And this is Memorial Day weekend. And I'm planning a vacation. Like, we're going to have a 3-day weekend. I'm going to go, we're going to like rent a boat and just go fishing or something. And then I found out Trump will be at a libertarian convention. I was like, we're going to the convention.
It's going to be their biggest turnout ever.
Of course. This is a third party. When's the last time this country has had a third party get recognition on a major in a major way like this in my lifetime? Unthinkable.
It's a smart move for him, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Really smart move.
It's kind of crazy to me that Republicans haven't done this in the past. A coalition government.
They just expect it. The Republicans have long expected libertarians to just vote with Republicans because they give the lip service, and so even though there are libertarians that are strongly vocal against Republicans or against Republican policies and stuff, they're still like, yeah, but we're better than the Democrats. And for the most part, for a long time, they were like, well, yeah, you actually are,
And how much of this is the effect of the Mises Caucus, right? I mean, I feel like the Libertarian Party itself has really changed in the last couple of years. I don't think
Donald Trump knows what the Mises Caucus is, and I don't think that he's talking to the Mises Caucus.
Does. I think his staff knows who it is, and that's really who gets Donald Trump to these events. I mean, I think part of it is in the past, you're right, like Republicans kind of take libertarians for granted. On the other hand, the Libertarian Party is often very divided. I mean, they have issues of debating the border and all kinds of things. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually, the work of the Mises Caucus or the effect of the Mises Caucus.
So one of my favorite things is I've talked to Republicans and they say things like, if only the libertarians just voted for Trump, this wouldn't have happened. And then I'm like, let me stop you right there. Libertarians don't like you. Like, we can move on now. Like this idea, many Republicans just believe that libertarians are Republicans but want a little bit more. And I'm like, no, many libertarians outright detest the things you stand for. The Mises Caucus brings you a little closer on a lot of issues. And I think this is going to be really interesting. Many people in the Libertarian Party do not like Trump. I think it was the Libertarian Party of Louisiana tweeted out the picture of Trump's hair, and it said Trump is the opposite of a libertarian. And it's like, well, let me tell you, there are libertarians who don't believe in borders. And I've gotten to arguments with them. And I'm just like, you can be an anarchist and call yourself an anarcho-capitalist or whatever you want to call yourself, but libertarian implies some form of government. If there is some form of government to some capacity, there is a limit to which your government can extend, correct? That's called your border. Borders exist. And if you allow anyone to come in, they will exploit you and ignore your laws, even as few as you have. But I think now with the Mises Caucus, what you're seeing is a lot of people who understand the importance of borders, understand the importance of some governance, but limited governance, free speech, all that the First Amendment entails, Second Amendment, etc. I just wonder if people at the LP would actually consider voting for Trump. That's Trump's angle, obviously. He says it. If we come together, we win. How many libertarians are going to be like, this one time, I'll vote for Republican?
I think a good amount. I really do. I think a good amount. Especially if he's going and talking to them and and he's basically raising awareness about, like, there's a lot of people who don't even know that the Libertarian Party exists. Let's be fair. There's like soccer moms that have no idea, right? He's giving them a platform and he's saying, hey, you are important. That matters a lot to people. I mean, even just with regular congressmen, when you help them with their constituent work, that matters to them that you paid attention to them. That's enough.
Right. Trump addressing his concerns and the Libertarian Party trying to influence his policy positions, and Trump saying outright, I need your help. You matter.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I am so excited. This is like the coolest news ever. It also it boosts the Libertarian Party. And we just desperately need competition in politics.
I'm curious to see what the format is. They're saying they're going to send the list beforehand. Like, is someone moderating and taking questions? Is Angela going to be on stage with Trump? Because Trump is a monologuer, I think. I think he is really a solo show. Yep. So maybe he'll come pre-prepared with remarks, but,
Dave Smith sitting down with Trump, going over the top 10 issues would be the most viewed... Okay, probably not the most viewed podcast. Probably Joe Rogan interviewing his Sasquatch would be the most views, but you get my point. But
it would be deeply
huge.
Meaningful. And I think it would mean a lot to liberty. Also, anyone who is interested in libertarianism, would search that video or be like, Trump, libertarianism, and it would be what comes up. I mean, it would have a lasting effect for generations who are trying to figure out how a Republican views libertarianism or what a Donald Trump presidency means for the potential libertarian movement in America.
I just made myself laugh, but also a little sad at the same time when I realized that if Joe Rogan interviewed some guy dressed as Sasquatch, it probably would get more views than a major political convention. And I'm just like,
people need entertainment. I think people do get burned out on politics, and I think that is one of Trump's strengths because it feels like a show. It feels like an activity. Even Lisa's nodding at me
I am
right now.
so burnt out on politics. I can't even go on Twitter half the
Well, that's
days
why
anymore.
you're gardening now.
I am, but yeah, it's a lot. I think that people are tired of it, but we'll see. I think this is good.
Good. This is historic. This is it, like the Libertarian Party being addressed by a major candidate for a rival political party. It's gonna boost them up. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. I think Trump could actually win over enough because he only needs a small percentage, like single digits, to make him to become unbeatable.
I love everything you're saying, but I am almost positive some dumb libertarian is going to get on stage naked or something, or do something like that. Someone's going to run around with a cake on their head or something.
You are correct, but I was just
they're going to
watching.
blow it. They're going to blow it.
No.
Phil doesn't believe in you libertarians.
I was watching Trump just speak a few hours ago, and a guy is just like Uncle Sam, and he's like, look at me, he brings him up, shakes his hand. Then he bends over to pick something up and stands up and goes, you think Joe Biden can bend down like that? And everyone busts out laughing.
Yeah.
I hope so.
He handles those moments well.
Yeah, if a guy got naked at the convention or something
And
said,
got
I believe
past Secret Service. That's the other part.
No. I don't think anyone's going to get anywhere near Trump. But like, if someone at the convention does something to make it, untoward or whatever, Trump would zinger him.
Yeah, I mean, you would.
Yeah. That Bill Barr zinger was like, that's got to be a top 10 zinger.
Look, he's the guy that said you'd be in jail. That was beautiful.
I know.
That was
He's
perfect.
got amazing. I mean, I miss the Hillary Clinton Donald Trump debates. That was
great.
the golden age of television, in my opinion.
I'm watching some of his speeches and I'm like, this man is back. The Bill Barr truth post. So I'm removing lethargic from my statement. I was just, it's top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 insult of all time was so good.
As the guy's endorsing him.
I know.
It's
It's absolutely amazing.
Look, and I think it's a reminder that Trump sort of forgives, but he doesn't really forget, right? Like,
Nor should you.
And this is part of the interesting thing about a second Trump presidency, especially since he lost in 2020, which is like, who are you surrounding yourself with? Because I think a lot of people feel like his staff in 2016, like going into post 2016 election, sort of derailed some of the agenda he had laid out. That he had some questionable staffing choices, and so again, this I have learned from my mistakes, and I'll take away some of the negative adjectives, but I'm not fully forgiving you. Is an interesting take.
I think that Bill Barr did the right thing there by saying, like, it's not about me, it's about the country. I thought that was a really like top-notch move on his part. But back to the Trump being at the party, do you really think that he'll do like a question one-on-one? I don't think so. I think he'll go up like a campaign rally and
It's
give his
impossible
little
for me
speech.
to see him doing anything other than like a full-on speech, but just the way they're saying, like, we're going to send you our top 10 issues, like, so Trump is then going to definitely incorporate that.
No, he'll ignore them.
He'll maybe respond to two. You would need someone on stage, like sort of like a town hall, to really get all of your question answers, I think.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.